Hello and welcome to Improve Your Voice. My name is Darren McStay and today I'm going to answer this question which I keep seeing being asked everywhere on the internet, and that's, what is diaphragmatic breathing, or how do I breathe from my diaphragm? So in order to breathe from your diaphragm, you just have to be human and have a diaphragm. It's that simple. Our diaphragm plays a massive part of our breathing without us knowing about it, without us having to care about it, or without us doing anything, because it's run like most things through our subconscious and we don't have to consider it. However, if you're a singer or professional speaker and you have to use your voice a lot, or very specifically, knowing how your diaphragm works will help you create a healthy system for using your voice, because often people get stuck placing air and using different parts of their body to push air out, like from their throat, and tensions are created which can be unhealthy. So understanding the diaphragm is going to give you a good idea about how to use air to flow more freely, and that's why it's important. So what is it? The diaphragm is a muscle that goes all the way around your body. It attaches itself just underneath the rib cage, but it goes right through your body, kind of all the way through the center, if you like. Of course, there's tubes and pipes and stuff that go through it, but its main job is to push your vital organs down and out of the way as your ribs move out, all in order for your lungs to be able to draw in more air. That's it, that's its job, that's its function. So it moves down at the same time as the intercostals and the ribs move out of the way, allowing the lungs to draw in more air, and then it comes back up as the ribs come back in order to squeeze more air out of the body. So as a speaker or singer, probably more so as singers, the use of knowing how this works is that you can manipulate it, because there are certain methods and certain styles of singing that really need the diaphragm to use a bit more force than if it's just doing its own thing. So by using your imagination and training this muscle to move air the way we want it, we can stop tension in our throat and allow air to flow more freely. So here's a couple of exercises that we can do to A, understand it, and B, start developing a way in which we can use a diaphragm for our specific singing or speaking needs. The first one we're going to do is we're going to lay on our back in what's called a semi-supine position, which is back flat, legs bent, and knees parallel to the feet. From here, I want you to start imagining breathing into your lower back, into your sacrum, which is just above the coccyx. As you do this, you will notice that your belly moves up, and I'd like you to maybe put your hands on top of your belly so you can feel that movement. But I don't want you to be pushing up with your belly. I want you to keep your back flat on the floor and breathing down into the floor. Because the movement at the side of the intercostals also help draw in air. But I want you to understand that when you breathe in, what's moving your belly forward is the fact that your vital organs are being moved forward. The air is actually higher in the chest, but the movement comes from everything being moved lower and out to the sides in order to create that space for it to happen. So we just gently breathe in and breathe out, maybe 10 times, just to A, relax the body, B, become more conscious. And next time you breathe in, I want you to breathe in, and then rather than just allowing the breath to go out, I want you to use your hands to just push in a bit. So you push in a little bit more than you would if you were controlling it yourself, but use your hands and you can hear the air rush out a bit faster. So if you do that, you can feel how the air is moved by the use of this diaphragm. The diaphragm kind of does the jobs that your hand just did for you. And so now we're going to lay on our front and see how we can do that without just using our hands. So get onto our front. If you've got maybe a pillow or maybe a stool even that you can lay over, just so the belly becomes a bit more restricted. So when you breathe in this time, you find it's a bit harder to do because there's nowhere for the organs to move out of the way in order to draw the air into the lungs above. But you will also find that breathing out is much easier because it just Grabbing is pushing the vital organs back in, which is making the diaphragm move up, which is making the air come out quicker. Quite often aggressive singing styles like screaming and opera will use this as a technique to help them understand how to push the air out much faster. And again, this is just to help you understand what the diaphragm is doing. And so lastly, we're going to just look at moving with it. We're going to actually add a little rock. So we're going to stand up and just move back and forward to see if we can connect this movement with our breath, and we're trying to understand how we can get the air to flow at will with our control in a healthy and safe way. So that was my brief introduction to diaphragmic breathing. Hopefully it might have answered a few questions for you. If you have any other questions about anything or want me to go deeper into this subject, then just leave a message in the comments and I'll get back to you on that, or maybe even just make the video. My name is Darren McStay. This is Improve Your Voice, and until the next time, look after your voice.